go.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday evening. Yay! I'm so excited because I have one of my BFFs, Sharon Farrar, here to join us on our team talk tonight. And Sharon, thank you so much for doing this. I cannot wait to hear your talk.
Oh, I love your team. You know I love you guys, and I love your team, and I'm so glad that we've been able to be together with all these Florida Tropics boot camps.
I know. And guys, you probably do recognize Sharon from Florida Tropics Boot Camp. She and her husband Doug are some of the main people that bring that boot camp to you. So Sharon and Doug are two of our really good friends. Doug and Craig are good friends together, and so are Sharon and I. Sharon is a 50 Club National Marketing Director. She is the leader of leaders.
Who are you?
Thank you.
In common. And guidance counselors.
We are both, that's right, we're both guidance counselors, so that's something else that we have in common. And I just love Sharon. She makes me laugh and smile all the time. One of my favorite people to hang around. And Sharon is a mom of 3 kids. She's got a great family. Her husband, Doug, actually is now full-time in Juice Plus. I'm sure she'll tell you about that. Sharon loves to play racquetball. She's a health guru, always inspiring all of us to, just be healthier and be on our mission. And I'm just so inspired by you all the time, Sharon, and very grateful to have you talk and share with us Confidence is King, which is her title of her talk tonight. And I told her I can't wait to hear what you have to say about that.
I loved talking to you yesterday, and you're like, confidence is king. I was like, yes, it is. It's so funny. So yeah, we love laughing together, and that's what happens in this business. You never know who your BFFs are going to become. Like, we didn't know each other before, but we call each other up, and we throw ideas at each other, and it's so great. And then Doug and Craig, they end up dressing alike, and we say they're BFFs, and we have so much fun in this business. I love it. Yeah. And so you bring out the smile in me, and I'm sure in your whole team, you bring out the smile in your team. You guys are awesome. So,
for sure.
When you asked me to come on your call, I was like, of course, I'll do anything for you guys. And of course, I love your team as much as our team. So anyway, we're continuing to move forward together. And Doug's right behind Craig. Congratulations to Craig, making National Marketing Director. The team says, woo, woo, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, but I want to tell you why I picked this topic. Well, there's a whole journey behind it. I have been in the business of sharing Juice Plus for 19 years. In September, it'll be 20. So I'm going to have my big 20 anniversary in September. But, it is really a personal development journey cleverly disguised as a business. It truly is. And so I've had to go through my own ups and downs and no's, and they continue daily. And the other day I just put out a Voxer to people with some screenshots of all my, things that didn't go right for me, because I think people think that if you're a national marketing director, everything's just peaches and cream, and it's really not. It's just learning to deal with that. And as Brene Brown talks about, just being resilient in this business. But I'm in a pod now. I'm a pod conversation coordinator, and I hear these people who I think are awesome when I listen to their stories. And we've all got stories, and we're all very real. If we weren't in this community, we wouldn't be that way. We're not slimy salespeople. But I think sometimes we're made to feel like we're slimy salespeople, and it's really not true. Our heart is there for the people. It's not about the money. It's about really helping people to understand what we understand, and really hoping that they'll just take that time to open their mind and listen, because we know, and it's good for them. So it's kind of like I was listening to the pod and how they just feel like they can't be leaders, or that they've just been so dejected or rejected over time that I feel like they just felt like they they didn't know their place in this business. And I just feel like, man, if you keep listening to yourself, it's going to be a bad journey. You've got to reprogram. You've got to constantly plug into good things to get those negative thoughts out and keep moving in a direction that's forward and with confidence. So that's kind of how I came up with confidence is king. And I believe it's king also. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let's see what I'm sharing. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint okay?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so why should we work on it? Because I feel like people are more attracted to people who have confidence, and we are meant to attract people in our business. And also, it will make our lives so much easier as far as, will people listen to us right away? We are influencers. We're influencers, whether we're getting people to make simple changes or to be on our team or to take that next step or to go to a certain event, any of those things, we're influencing all the time. So we've got to be confident in order to influence other people. And what will it give you in return? It'll be that personal growth journey to get you to where you want. And then we're going to talk about the confidence, in the 4 areas that we usually call the 4 beliefs. But if you believe in, the product, the business, the industry, the company, and yourself, and those are kind of all merged together, then you will have that confidence. So we're going to talk about how to shore that up. And so in my mind, confidence, well, let me go back to here. I think I had it somewhere. It's a skill. Oh, there it is at the bottom. Confidence is a skill that we can develop. So it's not like you're either born with confidence or you're not. You've got to go through things. You've got to be in the arena, as Brene Brown says, to develop that confidence. So feeling sure of yourself, feeling comfortable in your own skin, talking about, say, Juice Plus, you want to be confident, and you don't want to talk about anything that you're not sure of, because then you're not going to be comfortable. So we're going to talk about how you can get more sure. Not having a weak posture. People will stomp all over you. They'll say, hey, no, sorry, just want a 1-month supply. No, sorry, not going to use my credit card, or you end up paying for people's distributorships, or you end up talking too much, trying to prove your case, or you start getting extra documents to prove that you're right. But if you know what you know, and you know from experience and exposure to this community and all the network of professionals that we have, then you're just going to say, you know what, it works. It's going to be awesome for you. Something like that, where you're just saying things with confidence, and you're going to get rid of a lot of extra conversation, a lot of extra back and forth. And it will help you to be lovingly persistent. Just yesterday, I was trying to get this doctor. She's actually the chief of pediatrics at our hospital down the street. She's just somebody I knew before as a pediatrician, but now she's that. And I'm like, I really want you to come to Dr. Du Bois. And she had just told me she was delaying her order. I mean, I tried to turn it all the way around, and I really felt like, man, I just did that one extra persistent thing. And she's like, okay, I'm going to try. So sometimes when you know what you know what's best for them and for yourself, for them to really learn these things, you're going to be more persistent if you are confident in what you're talking about. And it's a skill you can develop. Okay, so we're going to go back in time a little bit. I see Lisa laughing. This is like the worst picture ever. Doug's like, why would you put that picture up? Just kidding. But that's our first baby. That's baby Matthew. And it was right after he was born that we were introduced to Juice Plus and totally sent on a better trajectory to health, which is everyone's story, right? We're no longer as inflamed, as you could see. We look a lot healthier nowadays. And we're just not as sick and tired and all that, and we've had great health ever since. But I was a high school guidance counselor, just had that first baby, knew nothing about nutrition, was very unhealthy, eating whatever, fast food, junk food, you name it. And that's when I was introduced to Juice Plus. So it wasn't like I was, nutritionally sound or anything to be able to share Juice Plus. So I want you to know that, because I'm going to tell you about my journey in regard to doing wellness presentations. I never felt like I was someone who could stand up in front of other people and help them to learn about wellness. I wasn't that person. My friend was, who introduced me to Juice Plus. That's Julie Hurst. She was super fit and she was juicing, and her mom had been juicing. My mom, it was meat and potatoes, fast food, meat and potatoes, fast food. Let's get some candy bars, you know. Well, anyway, 19 years later, this is my family now. So that's how long I've been doing this, just so you see. And, you know, this is how busy my life was when I was getting an idea that I really wanted to build the business bigger. Okay, so by this time I had the 2 babies at home. I was now home for a little while because I needed to be home with the 2 babies. And my friend Abby, she was the guidance counselor next door to me. She said, Sharon, why don't you do the wellness presentation? I'm like, I just, I don't feel like I can. And people were doing them. And so, excuse my voice today. So people were doing them. Julie, I was saying, Julie had these Boca babes that were coming out and they were all healthy and they were doing wellness presentations like it was nothing. And back then it was like an intense wellness presentation. It was like about the 5 pounds of sugar. It was about, you give me $100 and you get back whatever. And it was fortification. And it was like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about what you guys are talking about. And so anyway, I just felt very underconfident in that area. And I was like, no, I don't, if I have to do that, I might as well quit, is what I said to Julie. And so she didn't pressure me or anything, but it was like that shame cycle, that I wasn't doing it, but the person below me was doing it, Abby, and all the other people around me were doing wellness presentations. I'm like, oh my goodness, so that's why I said that. But don't be fooled. Even successful people are scared and underconfident. Even when they go out on the stage, they are underconfident, they are nervous, but they do it anyway. They know they have something to share, and so they do it anyway. And so what did I do to reconcile that? After a while, Abby had said to me, you know what, Sharon, where's your confidence? You used to do presentations to high schoolers, and I was just kind of giving out tests and, things like that or about college. It wasn't a big deal. But she's like, all you got to do is study the wellness presentation like you did in college. I'm like, oh, now she really related to me. And I'm like, okay. So what I did was I went to the hammock, studied, went in front of the mirror, did it, went to the hammock, went in front of the mirror, and I kept doing that. And I still do stuff like that today. I practice before I go do presentations, and I listen and I prepare. And so one of the biggest things is success is when you have opportunity plus preparation. There's nothing like preparing to make you feel better. It's going to always make you feel better and confidence. So always preparing when you feel nervous about something, and really making sure your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, whatever, in your preparation so that you can feel confident. So what I did back then was I studied, and when you're ready, when you've prepared yourself, an opportunity comes along. So then I had my first other awesome person who became a distributor, because I had some in between that I had bought their distributorships and nothing happened. And I'm like, well, I can't do a wellness presentation. Nobody's signing up. And so lo and behold, Stacy Turner came into my life, and she's now a national marketing director at 24 Club, on her way to 39. And she said, yes, you can come speak at MOPS. I was like, oh, great. And also she signed up. And so I did a bunch of wellness presentations for her, but I had to prepare for that. And she even prayed for me. She knew that I was super nervous. She actually prayed for me that night. And Abby came with the blender that I had forgotten and stuff. So, sometimes the support, but also every time I ever went to a wellness presentation in the beginning, I listened to Dr. Du Bois. I listened to Mitra Ray. I listened. So I would pick up those key words, those phytonutrients or oxidative stress. I actually had already memorized the research because my upline NMD had told me to do that, Amy Getz. And how I reconciled things over time was really thinking about, do I need to be a health coach? Because a lot of people entertain that, do I need to go with the Dr. Sears course? Do I need to go with the IIN or whatever? And I actually have like a little coaching thing from Dr. Pam Popper, but I don't even flaunt it around or use it. It's really something that I feel like people do because they want to feel better about being in front of the room and being that facilitator of people making those simple changes. But hopefully this will help some of you. This is what I thought over time, is I used to work for Hartford Insurance, right? I knew nothing about insurance. My background was psychology and guidance counseling, but they trained me. So I knew about, HO3 policies. I knew about slip and falls. I knew about auto accidents. I knew how to talk to lawyers. I knew all that stuff. Why was that? Because they trained me. So the same concept is we are trained by the Juice Plus Company. What is the Juice Plus Company? It's a network of professionals that have trained us. So we listen to those inspiring healthy living lectures. We listen to biochemists. We listen to infectious disease doctors. So you want to lean back on that. You do know a lot. And that's what also Abby had said to me back then. She's like, you know more than most of the people in the room. And they'll never know if you forgot to say something. So you've just got to go out and share what you do know and share, with confidence. But the other thing, we have the doctors in our back pockets. We can give that, and we can also stick those doctors into, back then, a VHS recorder. So every time I would do a wellness presentation, I would stick in a video just so that I would feel more confident. So you just got to do what you got to do in order to feel confident. You got to reconcile all that for yourself and make it your own. Don't talk about things you're not comfortable talking about until you've learned them and you've really used them on three-way calls or with people, and then you can make it your own, and talk about what you want to talk about and what's really affected you. No one can ever talk about how your story is wrong, right? Or what you're excited about is wrong. So you want to go with that. Over time, I got empowered. And once you get empowered that you can go and do a presentation for MOPS or for a church or for elementary school or whatever, you feel really like you can just make your own schedule. You can get on the calendar, you can build your team, And so I felt very empowered after I learned the research, and also I did the wellness presentation. So the other thing I have to recommend always is what I did. Now this is longer. I only had 3 research studies to study back then, but they were really intense on the brochure. I don't know if you remember, Lisa, but it was like, the antioxidant, this like lycopene went up 2,046%. I know that because that used to be on the brochure, and the oxidative stress went away after 28 days. That's not what's on your clinical research summary, which is on your virtual office under quick links. But why not memorize these quick topics? That's going to always help you. When I'm on a 3-way call or I'm in front of the room, I talk about, that it gets absorbed, the oxidative stress goes away within 28 days, the systemic inflammation decreases, the immune system's better within 80 days, the T cells are up, the natural killer cells are up. That's not on the brochure anymore. And then because we don't have the oxidative stress anymore, we don't have the DNA damage. I mean, who doesn't want that? Because that's like making a copy of a copy of a copy. You no longer have that copy of a copy of a copy by 66%. And so there's less DNA strand breakage. And then the heart study, you guys know about that. But anyway, knowing with confidence that Juice Plus works, it's the most researched nutritional product in the world. So why wouldn't you share that? And they don't have what we have. No other nutraceutical product has it because they've done a meta-analysis of the whole world looking at who else has this type of research. They found like one other product out there that had 2 studies, and it was something like aloe over in Germany. Doesn't even compare. So when we say there is no other whole food product in the world that has as much research as we do, and it's product specific, it's peer reviewed, it's double-blind placebo-controlled crossover studies, that's why you've got to get those doctors' attention. You can't just say, oh, they didn't listen to me the first time. So what? Nobody does. You've got to have a number of exposures. You can't give up because you know what you know what you know. So that's what the research does for you. And then, and how are you responding when you're talking about the product? I have become rock solid in the product. So when I talk to somebody, I'm like, I know what'll help you. There's not a whole lot more to talk about. I do. But, basically it comes down to it works. And the UK people, they came over one conference and they're like, why are you guys talking about all this stuff? It works. It's proven. So these are some of the things I might say to people. And you guys can screenshot this on your computer if you want. or however you do it. Yes, this will help you. I'll say something like that. Yeah, you know, if they ask, well, what about this, 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 this? Yes, this will help you. I'm not promising them anything, but I'm coming back confidently. Yes, this will help you. I'll say good nutrition is good for everyone, and I'll nod and I'll be very confident. This is a way to get concentrated, I'll really say concentrated nutrition every day. It is, right? And it's a great habit, you know. Habits really determine what happens later in life. And then I'll say something like, I'd like for you to take a look at this. I know it'll be good for you. You know, can you hear the confidence in my voice? I know it'll be good for them. You guys know it'll be good for them, right? So, you know, if somebody says, well, will it be good for pregnancy? I'm not going to go say, you know, oh, let me go get you some documents and some videos about pregnancy. I'm going to say, yes, it's good for pregnancy, right? And you just stop talking. You don't have to talk a lot. You just be very sure of what you're saying. Thousands of doctors recommend Juice Plus. Mine does too. Yes, I know. Oh, there it is. Yes, I know lots of people who take it while they're pregnant. That's all you got to say. And then when I do presentations, I just always make sure I mention, you know, that you know it's safe and you know it's effective because it's being used on fragile environments like pregnant women, stage 4 ovarian cancer patients, children. So you know it's already been proven safe and effective. You can't just go up to a university or medical center with your goods, you know, and all of a sudden they're going to use it on people. The trio and the shake, I'll say something like, you know, this will definitely cause a transformation. And the more shakes you have a day, the more results and the quicker your transformation. The shred, you know, what we've realized is, yes, if you look up any disease or disorder, fruits and vegetables is going to be the #1 recommendation. But if you need more than fruits and vegetables, everything we recommend in the shred, those lifestyle changes, those are what's going to be recommended also. So we are on the cutting edge of everything that is really necessary to make those changes and make a difference for people. And then when I talk about, you know, the price, I'll say, you know what, it's not like buying a supplement or buying a vitamin. It's like buying a better body, you know, a new body. You're really going to have a new body after a while. Who doesn't want a better immune system? I'll also, as I'm presenting things, I'll say nowadays everyone is signing up for the trio blend, the fruits, the vegetables, the berries. The other day, somebody said, you know, this guy said, the sugar in the complete is too much or something. And I just said back to her, the sugar in the complete has the glycemic index of broccoli. She said, okay, thanks. And that's all she said. She didn't keep asking me questions. She went back to him and then he said, okay. And he started taking the shake. Guess what? He now has gotten back to her and said that he no longer thinks he has ADD symptoms and he's going off his medications. I mean, should we have had to go to Dr. Mitra Ray's document she did many years ago about how, you know, the sugar is the same as the glycemic index of broccoli and go to the biochemist and start, you know, presenting our case? No. If you have those one-liners. Now, the other thing she said to me is like, she's like, how do you know that? You know, how can I know that? I'm like, well, you got to plug in. You've got to be on calls together with your sponsor or leader so you'll pick up these things that we've heard over the years by going to the different events. We have those one-liners, and that's how you can learn. You know, you've got to be in the system. You've got to really dive in. Okay, so sharing Juice Plus, you know, listen more than you talk. I'm sure you've heard that. One of the great books is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So if you've listened, what you're supposed to be doing is collecting data and then processing it, kind of like a counselor. You know, we're listening, we're asking questions, deeper questions. Or if you've ever gone on a timeshare, they're collecting questions, your answers, and they're going to use them against you. Basically, oh, so you say you want to go on vacation more. You want to make memories, you know? So basically they're collecting the data that you've just told them, and they're going to say, well, okay, what you told me was, and that's really how you can, you know, really use that information to then give them the personalized solution, right? Which for everybody can be Juice Plus. You know, it's always a good solution. The other thing to say is I recommend. Now that's a strong stance, right? That's not a weak posture. I recommend. Why do you recommend that? Because you know, you've been in this community, you know what we recommend and what will actually help the person. If you try to downplay that or water it down because you're watching after their pocketbook, that's underconfident, right? So you've got to say, I recommend, and you can blame it on yourself. I recommend the trio blend because that's what my family takes. Or I recommend the trio blend and the omega and the complete shake because that's what my family uses every day. They can then choose whether they want to do that or not. So we have a text that says that. I recommend, I think I might, oh, there it is. So we send, up to them whether they send a picture or not, but a lot of my team uses this verbiage. I recommend the Juice Plus Trio Blend, fruits, vegetables, berries, also their phenomenal shake. This is what I take, would not do without. Please watch these videos. And then I think we added at the bottom about the omegas. Okay, so, and then of course, if you've been in this business long enough, you'll know not to get hung up on whether they order on the spot. Hardly anybody does, okay? It's not like buying jewelry where they look at it, they say, okay, it's more of a processing and knocking out paradigms that they think they're healthy. They don't realize that vitamins are not as good as fruits and vegetables, so there's a lot of things that you have to educate on. They don't know, why it's not sold in a store, all those things. So you can't expect them to just like, yes. So that's for your own protection of your ego to know that it takes a number of exposures you've got to be giving. And so you can even write down how many exposures did I give that person that I'm expecting them to be on board, and talk more about what you do know. Okay, yeah, I already said that. Okay, I love this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. When what you have to say is more important than what others think of you, fear will stop being an issue. Because a lot of times that is what's ruling us, is the negative thoughts, the fears of what will they think? Am I being too pushy? Are they avoiding me? All these different fears, right? Okay, what about our industry? I've seen over the years that whole food supplementation is on the rise. It was not talked about 19 years ago, and it was predicted that whole foods were going to be on the rise, and they are. So we are in the right time, the right place, the right industry. We are in the wellness. You could say we're in the wellness industry. We're in the whole food industry. And we are part of the gig economy, where people are wanting like this extra income. And we have a little video about that. So we are like on the cutting edge of what people want. They don't want to go to a building and go from 9 to 5 or whatever and also only get 2 weeks off vacation. So use that to your advantage, because you do have something that I think we get stopped because we don't get like an instant gratification from talking to people that they sign up right away. But use that knowing that people are going to be exposed to whole foods. They're going to be exposed to the fact they can make a little extra income somehow, some way. And the younger generation definitely prioritizes quality of life. So do the baby boomers. People want quality of life. They want to feel better. They want to look better, but they also want to have that time together, right? How are you doing building your confidence in the industry, whether it's network marketing or wellness? Are you reading books? Are you listening to audibles? Are you listening to podcasts about the industry? Those are all important. This is one of my favorites still, The Business of the 21st Century, Robert Kiyosaki, and it's on richdad.com, I believe. Okay, building confidence in yourself. If you're scared to make a move, it's because you're in your head, right? It's all about you. It's your agenda. If you're just listening and you're not thinking about your agenda, there's nothing to be scared about, right? If you're just listening to somebody, it's because you're thinking, when can I now step in? When can I now present? When can I now, and so give yourself a break to just listen, collect information. It's not about you. It's about that other person. So you want to just, think in those terms so that you don't get all nervous and freaked out, right? Do you believe you could help this other person? Do you have something that can make his or her life better? You do. And you can always go back to, sorry guys. Aren't you thankful that someone shared with you many years ago, right? Aren't you thankful that somebody gave you that gift? Because this really is a gift that somebody gave us, right? So what if that was taken away from you? You wouldn't like that, right? So aren't we just so thankful? And you can start your sentences with, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. And who doesn't want to listen to that? I'm so thankful my friend introduced me to, and that's how you can start your story, or come in to talk about Juice Plus, right? That you're just so thankful. do you have a gift to share? I think we all know we do. Okay, so building confidence in yourself. This is what I heard a lot from my podsters. Well, I haven't done three-way calls. Well, I've really resisted three-way calls. I've not been able to get team members. I don't know if I'm a leader because I haven't been able to do this or that. Okay, so what if they stay in that past, or what if they say, oh, it's never worked out for me? If you believe it's never worked out for you, it's kind of a prediction of the future. You have to say, I've learned a lot from, whatever my experiences, and I'm going to dominate, can't you just change that story? I'm going to dominate tomorrow. What if I did do three-way calls? What if I did 5 of them this week? What if I did 3 of them this week? What would be different? What if I did do what I know I should do? Like, there's a little person here that's always telling me, this is your next step. This is your next step. Because we know what our next step is. We just don't want to do it a lot of times. It's out of our comfort zone. But we know that might make the bigger impact if we just took the time and focused in on that and did that. So what if you did do that? Instead of believing in the past, why don't we believe in the future and really, think of every day as a new day? So switch your thinking to the future and what you do want. And I love the book by Brian Tracy, Goals. He talks about if you're blaming, if you're complaining, if you're whining, then you're a victim. We don't want to be a victim. So the opposite of that, he says, say to yourself, I am responsible. If you say to yourself, whenever you're in a bad state, say, I am responsible. That's going to turn it all around to make you think, okay, what are my next steps to take care of this? Whatever it is. It could be not the business. It's just, I am responsible, instead of complaining, whining, blaming. Those are your triggers to know that you are in that self-defeating, mode. Succeeding in small goals will lead to confidence. I love this book by Earl Nightingale. He says that success is just putting out a goal and achieving it, putting out a goal and achieving it, putting out a goal and achieving it. And that is also what builds confidence. You putting out a little goal, achieving it, little goal, achieving it. These are awesome books for you to learn from. And so if you're not doing personal development, I encourage you to do that. Here are some of our famous people. I may not have the quotes exactly right. I didn't go look it up. But Ray Higdon on podcast says, don't be obsessed with what other people think, So that's good for us to remember. Eric Worre, you will lose some social credibility when you sign up for a network marketing business. But you know how you win it back? You win it back by having pride in what you're doing, by being a professional, by actually including people as if you're proud. So say, for instance, some people come to visit, family, whatever, but you kind of hide your business and you say, I can't go to this event or that event because my sister and my mom are visiting or whatever. What if you said, hey, mom and sister, I got to go to this event. I hope you'll come with me. Or you make shake for them and you include them in what you're doing, because there is a lot of good in what we're doing. And if you try to, push that aside and not have respect for this business and respect that you are pursuing this as a real professional, as a real business, then, they will appreciate when you continue to be consistent in following that path. I've seen it over time. Don't listen to people who are not in the arena. And in the Brene Brown program, they have us come up with a very short list of people that really mean a lot, that we would take ideas to or whatever, that those people are the ones that matter. It can only really be 2 to 4 people, So don't listen to all the other people or the people that you imagine are saying things. They're not in the arena. Number one, they're not in the arena of the fights that we're doing, the good fight. And so why are we listening? Why are we listening to them? Or why are we listening to our self-talk that thinks that we know what they're saying? And be careful. You might be posting all these things on social media, showing, that you're perfect and working on your I'm too cool syndrome, like that you're really not doing this. You're just kind of posting in a different way. And really, you might not be working on your business. Your business is getting confident and going out there and sharing with people. If you're worried about being weird, don't be. We've heard that before. Don't post something strange. In desperation, you might post something that's out of character for you. Don't do that. Just post what you're thinking about, what you're excited about. No one can fault you for that, and don't try to twist it so that you're kind of selling something too at the same time. Try to be very authentic with what you're actually thinking. And I love the 30 reasons sheet. I've done this over and over the years. I've been around for a couple decades almost. So this 30 reasons sheet, it's on campbellteam.net. And you don't copy this one. You do your own. You have some self-talk. A lot of what we do in this business, if you're moving forward, is coaching yourself. Don't depend on anyone else to take control of your business. Coach yourself. This is part of coaching yourself. It's really sitting down and brain dumping what all has this business done for you. Why am I proud of it? Why do I love it? And it's not all about the products. It's about all the other things that will help you to grow more confident, and it will help you to share the business with people by just inserting little one-liners. I love that it's done this or that, or it's about the community, and all those different things. One of the things that I love that I put together is this VF bullet point sheet, and I can send this to Lisa or whoever needs it. But this is something I kind of put together because I do love this business. I hope you could tell. And so it's everything I love about the business and why it's better than everything else, right? So Juice Plus is the largest selling nutritional product in the world, the most researched. We have a food label. It's NSF certified. It's NSF Sports certified for Olympians even. So I might send this to like a prospective distributor, or while I'm on the phone doing a 3-way call with somebody, I'll send it to the sponsor and they'll send it to them. And so even children 4 years and up get Juice Plus for free. And I'll even add in, not every product is even safe for children, and it's safe womb to tomb. Doctor recommended, thousands of doctors recommend it. What I love about this business is it's a narrow product focus. You're really not talking out of many sides of your mouth. You're not talking about hair over here and vitamins and skin. And by the way, let's clean the house, right? Like a whole plethora of items in a catalog. It's one thing you're talking about, and that is to bridge the gap with whole food nutrition. We have a fruit and vegetable deficiency in America as far as consumption, right? So our small product line, and I say we've really only got like 4 products: Juice Plus, the Complete, the Tower Guard, and the Omega. We don't have a lot of products, and it makes it so much easier to have that narrow product focus. It's a consumable product. That means that it's creating residual income every time somebody eats their Juice Plus every 4 months. It's in the system. People have been in the system for 19 years for me, and they're continuing to eat their Juice Plus, like having a hit record on a radio station. We're part of the wellness industry that continues to grow, even in the downturns of the economy. We're mission driven. Our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. Who doesn't want to get behind that? It's only $50 to get into a $14 billion company. It's virtual. It's part of a franchise. You don't have to come make up a bunch of stuff. You just join in the momentum of our company and our teams and things like that. It's over 45 years old, so it's stable and lasting. It's not new. It's something that has continued to go through the times, and they're lasting. Over 20 countries. The leaders stay. Everybody stays, really, because they love this community. It's not a buyer's club. When you're talking to a new person, that's one of the best things you could tell them. There's no quotas. It's not a buyer's club. There's no inventory. You don't have to have like a whole room with a bunch of different things that you have to predict what somebody might want and go drop them off everywhere. There's not a buyer's club, no quota, no inventory, no territorial restrictions. Your positions are permanent. I can't help but say that I was having lunch with somebody today who said that they lose their ranking every month. They start over as far as their ranking. And I know another one that they have to, qualify to even get a paycheck every month. And I actually gasped. Doug's like, calm down. Anyway, I was like, what? And Doug's like, stop it. Anyway, I was amazed. So you guys, the fact that once you get to those commission levels, they're permanent, they're not taken away from you. It's pretty big time. Benefits package, I mentioned that today at lunch, of course. And it's like no other. So be proud of that. Be proud that we have the corporate benefits package. People probably move to Canada so they don't have to worry about working someplace so that they can get benefits. This is a way they can be home, have a flexible schedule, build some part-time residual income on the side while also getting benefits. So be proud when you introduce the business. It's not going to be a quick sale, right? For them to sign up for the business like that, but you've got to be confident. You've got to lead them. There was one lady who said, oh, I've tried those things before. And what did I say to her? What if this one worked? What if we were able to make this one work? What if I could help you make an extra $500? I could show you how and help you. What if this one was different? Because sometimes they're voicing that objection. You could just run with that, right? And just walk away. Or you could face the objection head on and reconcile it for that person. Say, you know what? That might be true. Always using feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. Many people have felt the same way. What they've found is this is different. This is totally different. And, I can help you if you want to be helped in that area. Don't be stumped by those objections. They don't know more about this subject than you do. Remember that. Who wouldn't want to make residual income? I mean, really, who wouldn't want to make residual income or help pay for their Juice Plus groceries, right? They can pay for their Juice Plus groceries. They can get more and more groceries. And also when it comes to Juice Plus, they like to hear that it can be part of their grocery budget. So keep that in mind. So do you believe it all? Are you all in? Are you wanting to say something, Lisa? I heard you. Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm just answering your question. Yes.
You're all in. Okay. And you believe it all. All right. So, I think that's something that people have to ask themselves. Are you committed? Are you all in? Are you diving in? Are you diving in on a daily basis? Know who you are and be in this for the long haul. Realize that what you say you want should be congruent with your actions. That will lead to underconfidence. If you're saying one thing about you want to do this or that, but you're not doing this or that, there's an incongruency. We've been listening to Brendan Bouchard, who's really good. He says one of the keys to being confident is that congruence with what you want and what you're doing. So say we talk about being healthy and all that, but we're not living it, we feel bad, right? So it's the same kind of thing, with the different aspects of the business. Okay, keep doing the activity. Momentum is big with confidence, okay? And I'll get to more of that. But, way back when, it was always recommended one event a month of your own. And then daily, the 2x2x2 calling of people. And also, of course, customer care. Those kinds of things help build your momentum. I love that I heard another person in a network marketing business. He said, one of the problems with people who sign up for, a network marketing type of business, our type of business, is going from the worker mentality, because we're used to somebody telling us what to do. You have to actually create your own work in this business. You have to come up with plans to create the momentum, to create building a network, okay? So we have to think, okay, where can I go next? How can I go get into that doctor's office and present to the doctor's office? How can I go talk to these mommies? How can I go talk to a yoga studio? You've got to think, let me make these things happen. You've got to be the creator of your own work, and you are creating work, So you've got to have that mentality that work is good. Work is building your business. I was always excited to build my business. I had already worked for other people. You put in the hours, the work's never done. And then you leave. But this was something I was building that I knew was going to pay off over time, which it has, It gave me so much more hope for the future. You have in your hands something that you can build into the future. It's totally different than going and checking in on the clock, So make it different. You've got to create your own work. You've got to create those events that will create that momentum. So the consistent action, the discipline to keep going, regardless of whether you're busy whether life threw you this or that, or whether you have great growth right now, you still have to have that consistent action, because the momentum, when you lose momentum, it doesn't feel good. It feels terrible. And then it will give you lower self-confidence, okay? Here's the Jim Rohn Danger of Neglect. Okay, so bear with me. I am going to read this because it's so good. And it was something that really hit home for me when I was a sales coordinator. It was something from Amy Getz that was in a folder at a regional, and I've leaned on it ever since. The things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. The primary reason most people are not doing as well as they could or should can be summed up in a single word: neglect. It's not the lack of money. Banks are full of money. It's not the lack of opportunity. America continues to offer the most unprecedented and abundant opportunities of any nation in the last 6,000 years of recorded history. It's not the lack of books. Libraries are full of books and they are free. It's not the school. The classrooms are full of good teachers. We have plenty of ministers, leaders, counselors, advisors. Everything we'd ever need to become rich and powerful and sophisticated is within our reach. The major reason that so few take advantage of all we have is simply neglect. Many of us have heard the expression, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We may debate the validity of this familiar quotation, but what if it were true? If by performing that one simple act, that one simple discipline, notice the word discipline, we could be healthy and alert and active throughout our lives, then would it not make sense, and would it not be easy to eat that apple every day? Assuming the quotation is true, why don't more of us eat an apple a day, every day, to maintain our health? If it is that easy and there is such a tremendous reward attached to this discipline, why do we not do it? Because the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do, right? That is how subtle failure is, okay? Those two words are big. Failure is largely a function of neglect. We fail to do the small things that we should do. And this seemingly insignificant license carries over to those things that are more important to do, Small neglects have a way of becoming major oversights with the passage of enough time. Remember, they're subtle. Neglect is like an infection. Left unchecked, it will spread throughout our entire system of disciplines and eventually lead to a complete breakdown of a potentially joy-filled, prosperous human life. Wouldn't we all like to be joy-filled and prosperous, right? Not doing the things we know we should do causes us to feel guilty. Don't we feel that sometimes when we think, oh, I haven't done good customer care, or I haven't followed up with people, or I haven't done this or that? We feel guilty. And the guilt leads to erosion of self-confidence. This is why I'm bringing this up, okay? That leads to the erosion of self-confidence in this business. As our self-confidence diminishes, so does our level of activity. So sometimes people pull away, right? As our activity diminishes, our results decline, inevitably. And as our results suffer, our attitude begins to weaken. As our attitude begins the slow shift from positive to negative, our self-confidence diminishes even more. And on it goes. Failure to do the things that we could and should do results in the creation of a negative spiral, which once started is difficult to stop. So that's why when people aren't plugging in, when people aren't doing the daily activity of talking to people, they start to feel uncomfortable. They feel underconfident doing it. Like if you haven't done a wellness presentation for 6 months, you feel very uncomfortable. You're like, oh, I need to study up on that. I haven't done one in so long. I feel like I'm really out of it. You call somebody who hasn't been plugged in, oh, I feel really out of it. I feel like I've missed so much. Or if you don't go to conference, people feel like they're really behind the 8 ball. So just doing those disciplines, those daily things, those will help you, those important things. Okay, so we're going to turn to the unconscious mind. I love this book called Train Your Brain. It's really good if you want to get it. I remember the UK people saying no neg. Okay, so catch yourself doing negative thoughts. That's one thing. But this Train the Brain good is really good. What we think about creates our feelings. And it's really obvious in this book. They take you through like this scenario where you think about a lemon in the refrigerator, and you pick up that cold lemon and how it feels, and then you cut into the lemon, and all of a sudden you're salivating, okay? So I didn't go through the whole thing, but that's what happens. Like what you're thinking about creates your feelings. So if you're thinking negative thoughts, if you're letting like these things roam around your mind, like a goat wreaking havoc in your house, or toddlers playing in your brain, with all these negative in a negative spiral, it's bad. Okay. It's going to just make you worse. You're going to have a very weak posture. Literally, you're going to feel bad about yourself. So don't have those negative thoughts. You've got to nip them in the bud. You've got to visualize positive outcomes. In that book, it talks about being a basketball person who goes and does free shots, and that they compare the people who actually did the free shots, like for a whole month, compared to people who just visualized that they did them really well. It was equal. Okay. You can visualize the positive outcomes before it all happens. And so, use it to your advantage. Start training your brain. Do positive affirmations. I was just reading a racquetball handbook today, because I have a competition next weekend in Ocala, and they're saying, say I'm a winner, and it was talking about all this stuff. And we just came back from a golf tournament with Emma. She had slouching body posture. She was in a bad mood. I asked her later, I'm like, what were you saying to yourself? Like, what was going on? She's like, I was saying I hit the ball wrong. I can't believe I'm hitting the ball wrong. I should have done better, and all these things. And so really, that just spiraled like for hours with her. And so, you want to do positive affirmations. And in this business, you're going to have to do it. I'm worth it. I'm worthy. I'm enough. I know just as much as the next person. I know more than the next person about this. I can do this. I don't have to be perfect. Okay. A lot of people wait till they're going to be perfect. It's going to take a long time. Nobody's going to really be perfect in this business. You got to learn to do it imperfectly. We are the messenger. We're not the message. So we're the facilitator of bringing that message. Okay. Work on yourself more than anything. So the whole train the brain thing, that really works in getting out of your comfort zone and just coaching yourself, doing things like that. This is another great book, High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard. And it does talk about confidence in that book. So there's some things for you. Recognize you have your own objections to things, where you're voicing your own objections, whether it's out loud or to yourself. It could be, but I'm not a wellness coach, or I'm not healthy enough to tell people about their health. I'm not the picture of health. I don't know what to say. If you're going to voice those objections to yourself, go ahead and bring them to your sponsor so they can at least help you reconcile them, right? So that you can overcome your own objections, because really you do want to do this business. So if you've got some negative thoughts roaming around in your head, and I know that a lot of my team must, because now I'm in that pod where everybody's kind of voicing what their real feelings are, the sales coordinators who are in the Brave Leaders program. And I'm like, wow, I would love to help people overcome their objections with themselves, because I believe that we are really good people. Hopefully you believe that too. And that we really are just sharing something that's really good for people. So, overcome your objections and don't compare yourself to other people. Be yourself and just love yourself and go after becoming more of yourself. Do what you want to do in this business. Don't water those seeds of doubt. Once you plant that seed of doubt in your head and you start watering it and ruminating on it, that's a bad place. You know what? That leads to a crevice instead of just a seed. It's going to just continue to grow if you keep thinking negative thoughts. If somebody brings me a bad YouTube or a bad thought or whatever, or if I have a bad thought of my own, I just dismiss it and I move on. That's really helpful, I think. Lean on the network. Remember, I'm trained by, and you can start, listening to all those things on healthylivingrevolution.com under trending topics, those webinars. There's, Harvard MDs, there's biochemists, there's all of our network of professionals training us on those Healthy Living Revolution live videos. You should be listening to those as you're driving around and things so that you can get all that in your head and you can truly say, I'm trained by, and you can start naming those types of professions that you are trained by within this Juice Plus community. Okay, here's more reading from me. Sorry guys, but these are really good things. We didn't really know a lot about affirmations for most of my journey with Juice Plus. but it's really become obvious that the brain really, we need to work on our thoughts. So this is an affirmation that really just evens the playing field. It's not about comparing us to someone else. It's becoming the best person that we can. So here's a good affirmation for you, and I can always send this to you to say in the morning or whenever. I am just as worthy, deserving, and capable of achieving extraordinary levels of success as anyone else, right? And all of my goals as any other person on earth. And that the only thing that separates me from those at the top is my level of commitment. So from this moment on, I'm 100% committed to becoming the person I need to be through daily personal development and living with daily discipline to easily attract, create, and sustain the levels of success I truly want and deserve in my life. Okay, so it puts it back on you, the I am responsible thing, and your commitment level to becoming the person that you want to do. I'm sure that your upline leaders have said, hey, why don't you do this, that, and the other? Have you done those things? You know, have you tried to look at the script for the wellness presentation, practice it on your own Zoom all alone? Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried to memorize the research summary? You know, think about the things that maybe have been floating out as suggestions. Have you embraced those as part of your daily personal growth? Second, I know that to do this, I must be willing to stay committed to my goals and doing what's right as opposed to what's easy at a level that I've never been committed before. I commit to reviewing these affirmations at least once per day, in the morning when I wake up, and ideally again before I go to bed at night, and then immediately taking the actions necessary today to take me where I want to go. That's just a reminder for you that you can become whoever you want to be. And every day, remember, is a new day. And so it really depends on your commitment level for personal growth. And don't we always have the right time? The time is always right to do what is right. We have what is right for people. We know we do. We have a really good thing for people. And remember, you know, if you are underconfident, there's always phases and things, you know, where I'm going to be underconfident also. So, you know, we've got to just reconcile that and keep moving forward. But remember, every pro was once an amateur. Every expert was once a beginner. You can dream big and start now, because your dreams can come true with this business. It's pretty amazing. Will it be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. So let me just tell you about the rest of my story. That, I mean, I had no idea that, you know, after I'd gone back for my second master's degree, that I would then not be using it, you know, in the way in which I thought I would be, you know, at a building. And because I didn't have to go back to work, you know, after those two baby boys were moved on to kindergarten, I then was home and available to have another baby. You know, 7 years later, it was like, why not? I'm just as healthy. I'm actually healthier because I've made all these simple changes. And so one of my biggest dreams, besides being able to be home with my kids all that time, was to have that third baby Emma, and to just have that freedom, because I had not gone back to work, didn't have to make that same decision again. Do I get to, you know, stay home or work, whatever. Then I had no idea this was around the corner, because Doug was not on board with health, you know, many years ago, but he started making those simple changes. And so then he started to get into our community, and he loved the social media aspect. He loved mentoring. He loved strategizing about the business. And so then it was one day, once, you know, his friend died of a heart attack, his dad had died, he thought, you know what, life's too short. I want to be with the family, and I want to do this with you. He saw that it was an awesome community, one of the best communities he's ever been in, and that he found a place in our community to be a part of it. And so now he's home every day with me doing this business. And he's also about to reach the top level in the company along with Craig. So the future is not what it used to be. And you just have no idea what the future holds for you, but you've got to make those daily steps in the right direction every day so that you can see what those extra gifts that are going to come along the way are. And being confident will shorten that track for you. The more you can dive into personal growth and be more confident will be king for you, and you'll be able to rule the day. All right. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on. I have no idea what time it is. I'm so sorry.
No, you're great. You want to stop the
unshare. Yes. There we go.
Share. And Sharon, oh my gosh, that was incredible. Seriously.
Thank you.
So incredible. Since we're streaming to our Facebook group here, I was watching the comments, and I mean, you've gotten a lot of comments on here, and somebody said, thank you so much for everything that you offered, and this is exactly what I needed to hear. Loved it. Awesome. I'm getting all kinds of comments from many people. You know, that was just so full of content. I did take a couple pages of notes here.
I saw you.
I know people are going to go and probably watch it again and take even more notes. You've got the books that you recommended, the very, very practical verbiage, the total posture of confidence in the product, in the industry, in ourselves, in the business, and our company. It was fantastic. Thank you. I mean, really, I don't even know where to start with or where to end, but that was just so great. I cannot thank you enough for pouring into our team in this way. And I'm so grateful that we recorded this. You really put together a great talk.
Thank you.
I can so clearly hear why you are such a successful leader and NMD. You can, and it's inspiring. It's just so inspiring because everybody is better equipped to do the same from what you've taught tonight. So
awesome. Well, I poured my heart and soul into you guys, so come on, let's go.
I love it. I love it.
It took too long, though. I see the time. I'm like, oh
no. No, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. You've got tons and tons of thank yous, and just so appreciate it.
All right. Well, love you guys. You guys are awesome. Love my team. I see you guys on there, and love the DC team. You guys are great. I'll see you all at conference very soon. Sacramento. And the boot camp, New Smyrna Beach. That's my hometown. We're going to rock New Smyrna Beach, that's for sure.
We will see you in both of those places.
That's right. Yep.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, Sharon, and everybody else.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you, Lisa. Bye, guys.